Given x minus 3 is equal to 2 square root x. The questions are solve for x, and the second one says hence if the cube root of 3t minus 2 square root cube root 3t is equal to 3, determine the value of t. So we'll start with the first one. And since there's a surd, a square root, I want to make sure that it's isolated. It is isolated, and so what I can do is square both sides. So if I square both sides, I'm going to have x minus 3 all squared equals 2 square root x all squared. Now this is the expansion of a binomial, and binomial expansion of a minus b all squared. That's a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So this will expand to x squared minus 6x plus 9, and that's going to equal 4 times x. Now I can take this over and write it in standard form so that I can solve it as a quadratic formula. So x squared minus 6x minus 4x plus 9 is equal to 0. Let's simplify these two. X squared minus 10x plus 9 is equal to 0. Now we can factorize. So here we'll get x minus 9, and then x minus 1 equals 0. Now we can use the 0 factor rule to solve. We will get x is equal to 9 or x equals 1. Now because we've squared both sides, right, we sometimes can get something called extraneous solutions, meaning solutions that would appear valid but they're actually not valid. So we need to test both of these values and just make sure that we get the correct answer. So we'll test 9. So the original question was x minus 3 equals 2 square root x. If x is 9, 9 minus 3 should equal 2 times the square root of 9. 9 minus 3 is 6. That's equal to 2 times the square root of 9 is 3. So 6 equals 6. So we know that 9 is valid. Now let's test 1. So we'll say 1 minus 3 is equal to 2 times the square root of 1. 1 minus 3 is negative 2. 2 times the square root of 1 is 2. So this is not equal, and so we will reject 1. So the answer that we're only interested in is 9. Now let's look at the next question. The next part of the question says, hence, and we have this cube root, and we have a square root and a cube root, and it's equal to 3. So what we can do is, since it says hence, it means that we could use something that was originally given to us. So I want to just rearrange this because there's some similarities that I'm seeing. For example, there's a 3 here, there's a 3 here, there is a square root here, there is a square root here, well, 2 square root as a matter of fact, and there is, obviously this would be x, right? So from here I don't actually have to do much. I can make a deduction here. I can say, let's solve it here on the right. I can say that x is this. So x is equal to the cube root of 3t. And since we know that x is 9, we can substitute that in and then solve for t. So 9 is equal to the cube root of 3t. Now we'll cube both sides. That's going to leave us with 9 cubed, which is, let's see, 9 cubed. That is 729. 729 is equal to 3t. Now we'll divide by 3. And so t is going to equal 243.